Africa, said he was delighted to discover that Monty was not after his job. Montgomery led British forces in the invasion of Sicily and rewrote the plan for the D-Day invasion, during which he commanded all Allied ground troops and attempted once more to outsmart Rommel, who commanded the coastal defenses. Rommel's firm-set face and goggled cap became an icon of the Desert War after Hitler personally gave him command of the Deutsches Afrikakorps. He pressed the British back to El Alamein, defeated the Americans at Kasserine, and was nicknamed Wüstenfuchs, Desert Fox, for the uncanny brilliance of his battle tactics. General Auchinleck found it necessary to tell his beaten British army that Rommel is not superhuman. It would be undesirable to attribute supernatural powers to him. After his defeat and pursuit across North Africa by Montgomery, Rommel was put in charge of defending the French coast. There he planned to beat back the Allied invasion and win the war for Germany. Both Patton and Montgomery described their battle with Rommel as a personal contest. Patton likened it to a medieval joust mounted on tanks. The two armies could watch. I would shoot at Rommel. He would shoot at me. If I killed him, I'd be the champ. America would win the war. Monty chose a metaphor from the tennis court. I feel that I have won the first game when it was Rommel's service. Next time it will be my service, the score being 1-love. Both men had the greatest respect for their enemy. Patton studied Rommel's books on tactics, while Monty kept a portrait of the German in his command caravan. Rommel returned the compliment. Montgomery never made a serious strategic mistake, and in the Patton army we saw the most astonishing achievement in mobile warfare. In a surreal counterpoint to their respect for Rommel, the Allies, Patton and Montgomery, loathed each other with a rare intensity. Patton called Monty a cocky little limey and claimed he could outfight that little fart any time. Monty told his staff officers that Patton was a foul-mouthed lover of war who lacked his own military insight. When they were thrown together for the invasion of Sicily, each commanding his nation's forces, the island proved too small for two such egos, and the campaign was determined more by the fight between them than by their fight with the enemy. When they clashed again in Normandy, competing to break through Rommel's defenses, the very outcome of the war was at stake. Monty's advance faltered, and Patton, leading the breakout, said American troops would save the face of the little monkey. Monty planned his own strike inland and demanded that men and fuel be transferred from Patton's army to his own as they raced to be first across the Rhine. Patton, Montgomery, Rommel brings together not only the mutual respect of the foes and the furious animosity of the Allies, but also the volcanic relationships of the three generals with their chiefs. Patton believed that Eisenhower had his eyes on the White House rather than the war. Monty attempted to keep Winston's podgy finger out of his battles. Rommel realized, too late to save himself, the truth about the Führer he once had idolized. Patton, Montgomery, and Rommel were students of war before they were warriors, and all three were familiar with Karl von Clausewitz's Principles of War, first published in 1812, and still the primary text for would-be military leaders, when Patton was at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, Monty at the Royal Military College, Sandhurst, and Rommel at the Königliche Kriegsschule, Imperial War School, in Danzig. Patton bought his copy of the book while honeymooning in London in 1910, and may have ignored his wife to read it, incurring her suggestion that he preferred Clausewitz to her own charms. Clausewitz argued that in every battle situation, the military leader must choose between the most audacious and the most careful action, and concluded that no military leader has ever become great without audacity. He might, in evidence, had he been able to observe the Second World War, have pointed out Rommel, noting his Fingerspitzengefühl, the instinctive and immediate response to battle situations, and talent for blitzkrieg, and also Patton.